Crab traps, like mouse traps, are rarely reinvented. Choosing the crab trap comes down to quality. I looked for quality components, the toughest construction, and easy operation. Wire mesh, heavy rebar, heavy-duty latches, and corrosion-resistant materials keep a crab trap crabbing longer. Salt water, sand, mud, and rock work together to tear apart a crab trap. The crab traps use stainless steel, rubber-coated galvanized steel, rot-resistant bungees and UV-resistant plastics to combat the elements. Small features make a big difference in ease of use. I like a large door to easily remove the crab. Also, a large, easy-to-access bait cage makes the trap easier to maintain. The crab line, harness, and float are just as important as the trap. If you buy a crab trap kit, make sure the quality of the accessories match the quality of the trap. Any crab trap will catch crab, but the crab traps make crabbing more fun, easy, and effective. The easiest way to catch crabs is to bait a crab pot and let it soak for a few hours. Retrieve the pot and it is full of crabs. Open the large hatch and dump the crabs into the best fishing cooler. Refill the removable bait cage and return the pot to the water. The Promar TR55 is the best crab trap overall because it has all the advantages of a crab pot without the weight and bulk. The collapsible TR55 folds flat when not in use. The water, the TR55 works the same as a full-size pot. Crabs climb into the trap through the entrance doors. Once the crab is inside, the door closes and the crab is trapped. Smaller crabs can climb out through the small escape ring. The TR55 is designed for blue crabs, but Promar makes a similar trap for other crab species. With sturdy stainless steel components and a rubber-covered bottom, the SMI heavy-duty crab trap is the best crab trap for Dungeness crab. Three entry doors with elevated ramps make it easy for crabs to crawl in but impossible for them to escape. The complete kit comes with a lead rope, buoy, bait box, crab gauge and harness. To easily sort the crabs, the SMI trap has a large opening in the top to separate keepers from throwbacks without dumping the crabs onto a sorting table. Rubber-wrapped rebar adds weight to quickly sink the SMI heavy-duty to the bottom. The classic blue crab pot at half the size, the American Blue Claw 1/2 crab trap kit is great for short soaks with several traps. Instead of one large pot deployed at one location, the half-size American Blue Claw allows me to drop two pots at different locations for better coverage. Crabs crawl into the funnel and can't escape. A large door in the top makes it safe and easy to empty the pot. Small escape hatches allow short crabs to exit the trap, leaving more space for keepers. If you plan to drop off a couple traps, spend the day fishing or boating, and then return to retrieve your bounty, this is the best crab trap for blue crabs. Crabbing is great fun for the whole family. evident at events like the annual Assault on Patcon Creek Crabbing Tournament. The Promar Nebraska 111 is the best collapsible crab trap for any type of crab. Costing just $20, each family member can work a trap to increase the catch and get everyone in on the fun. To fill the basket, attach a piece of bait in the cotton mesh net, drop it to the bottom, wait a few minutes, and retrieve the net. With any luck, there will be a hungry crab latched onto the bait. Flip the net upside down to dislodge the crab into a bucket, freshen the bait, and drop again. At the end of the day, rinse the crab traps with fresh water and store flat for the next trip. Stepping up the crabbing game, offshore anglers' square crab trap quickly and securely snares a crab. Attach a chunk of fish or chicken to the tie down in the bottom of the trap. Tie the 4 lead lines to the main line. Drop the crab trap to the bottom and the doors open and lie flat. When a crab crawls into the trap to investigate the bait, pull the hand line and the doors close tight. The crab is trapped and can't escape until the lines are loosened. Working a half dozen of these inexpensive and effective traps, a group of family and friends can produce a crab feast. What could be more fun than joining friends and family for a day of crabbing? Whether you're crabbing from shore, pier, or boat, the best crab trap makes crabbing more effective and more fun. First, you have to consider how you plan to catch crab. Are you going to spend the day working a small crab trap or leave a crab pot for hours then return to retrieve the crabs? Before buying the best crab trap, consider the species you will target and the size of the crab trap you need. What type of crab are you targeting? Where are you crabbing? You'll want to answer these questions before purchasing a crab trap. Some crab traps, like a drop net or cage, will catch almost all types of crab. But these types of traps require the crabber to sit patiently and wait for a crab to crawl into the trap. The crabber stays busy checking the trap, refreshing bait, and dropping it back to the bottom. Smart crabbers use multiple traps and bring friends along to help catch the crabs. Crab pots, on the other hand, are larger and allow the crabber to drop the pot, leave it to soak, and return hours later to retrieve the crabs. These pots are designed for a specific species of crab. A pot for blue crabs is much different than a trap for Dungeness crab. Dungeness crabs live in a hard rocky bottom, so the pots are larger, heavier, and more rugged. Blue crabs like a sandy or muddy seafloor, so blue crab pots are lighter with smaller entry holes. The only limits to the amount of crab you catch are the number of traps you have and your local bag limit. Unfortunately, pots take up a lot of storage space. But if you have plenty of space, a full-size crab pot catches the most crabs with the least work. Use multiple pots to cover the most area for the best chance of finding crabs. The next best thing is a compact or collapsible pot. Several of the pots in this review fold flat for storage. These pots make storage easier, but they are heavier and less durable. Another option is a half-size or three-quarter size crab pot, which is as effective as a full-size pot with a limited soak time. If you're only going to leave the pot for a few hours, several smaller pots cover the same area and take up less space. Crab traps are small and fold flat, making them the easiest to own. You can stack a dozen crab traps in a closet and carry them in a car trunk. Crab traps require the crabber to monitor the trap all day, catching one crab at a time. Since you can carry a half dozen traps under your arm, it's easy to work multiple traps to increase the catch. Crabs are one of the most prized ocean delicacies, and they're easy to catch with a quality trap. Once you choose the species of crab you will target, decide how you will catch the crab and pick a crab trap that fits your lifestyle. Then you are ready to head out on the water and harvest the bounty of the sea using the best crab traps for your area and trapping style. The best crab traps make the sport easier and more fun. I chose the Promar TR55 because it combines all the features of a great crab pot: collapsible, compact, sturdy, and easy to use. However, the feature that put the TR55 at the top of the list is the Promar name. Promar has produced all manner of crabbing and fishing accessories out of Gardena, California, since 2002. The company is inspired by commercial crabbers and anglers and has a reputation for producing gear that gives every possible advantage for the best catch. Crabbing is fun for the whole family and a great way to get youngsters involved in the outdoors. And, the same as fishing, you can cook and enjoy your catch. Most any pier or dock can be a great place to set a couple of traps. If you place your traps near a dockside fish cleaning table, you might be amazed how many nice big blue crabs gather there. Bays and bayous also hold lots of crabs, and add the dimension of a fun boat ride to the crabbing adventure. Our grandkids are nuts about it. Crab traps fished on a recreational saltwater fishing license require gear tags to identify the owner. Such tags can be made from any durable material upon which the owner's name and address can be inscribed. Tags must be dated and are valid for 10 days. Tags must be placed within 6 inches of trap buoy or the pier to which they are tied. Being something of a gearhead, I made mine from aluminum and used a hand stamp set to mark them. An individual sport fisherman may operate up to 6 traps at a time. Crab traps may be placed or worked as early as 30 minutes before sunrise and as late as 30 minutes after sunset. Overnight sets seem to work best. Quite often we find a dozen or more crabs in our traps when freshly baited and left to soak at least 12 hours. 2 or 3 dozen large blue crabs makes a meal for 4 adults and appetizers for 8. Primary species sought are blue and stone crabs. Blue Next to the boat and the motor, the lobster trap has been the indispensable tool for fishermen for more than 200 years. Invented in 1809 by Ebenezer Thorndike of Swampscott, Massachusetts, the lobster trap revolutionized lobster fishing. Little has changed in the design of the trap and the hard work it takes for the independent lobstermen and women to bring lobster from Maine to your table. Except for those caught by deep-sea trawlers, lobsters are still caught in lobster traps, also called pots. As traps used to be made of wood, metal traps emerged 20 years ago that are lighter and can withstand salt water erosion. Plus, the rectangular metal traps stack better than the rounded wood slat traps. The wire mesh cages have round openings with bait inside to entice lobsters to crawl in. Wood traps were built and maintained by lobster fishermen in the winter months when the seas were too rough for fishing. Pulling wooden traps from the water was no easy task. They weighed more than 80 pounds when wet, until motorized pot haulers were developed to ease the burden of fishermen. A fisherman's daily trap location is the most important factor in his catch success. Lobstermen lay their traps on rocky crevices and patches of seaweed where lobsters like to hide. Lobsters troll the ocean floor in depths of water less than 100 feet, but can be found in as much as 1,000 feet below water. Lobsters hide in sand or rocks during the day. They are nocturnal and hunt for food by using their antennas to smell and find prey. Lobsters eat everything living or dead, including mollusks, worms, fish, sea urchins, crabs, and even other lobsters. Salted herring is the preferred bait fish used by lobstermen to lure and trap lobsters. When there is a herring shortage, bait prices increase, impacting the lobstermen's bottom line. Bluefish, cod, mackerel, and menhaden, known as pogies, are also used as bait. Each lobster season, Maine coastal waters are dotted with bright-colored buoys that mark a lobsterman's lines of traps. The some 3 million traps off the coast of Maine are distinguished by color patterns and design distinct to each owner. Each lobsterman is limited to 800 traps in the water at one time. Beneath the surface, each trap is secured by a concrete block connected by the buoy by rope or the warp. Traps are set on the seafloor and sit for a length of time ranging from one tide, 6 hours, to several days. Most lobstermen check their traps in one day. Lobstermen retrieve their traps by using a hook pole, called a gaff, to raise the trap by hand or pulley to the edge of the boat. Lobsters short of regulation size or females with eggs are returned to sea. A lobster is measured by its carapace, the dorsal section not including the head, claws or tail, which must measure at least 3 1/4 inches but no more than 5 inches. A traditional lobster trap has two components. The outer compartment has 1 to 2 funnels of nylon netting leading inside the trap.